everybody, to Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul. Today is Tuesday, July the 14th, 2020, and it's known across the pond in France as Bastille Day.
Nice.
So happy Bastille Day, everyone. We had a great show last night. We had a great interview with Barry Goheen, talking basketball, which me and Brees love to do, and getting to talk basketball with a guy like Barry that's been through, played in so many clutch games, played in so many, consequential games, and games that came down to the wire. All of that's entailed in his book, Buzzer Beaters and Memorial Magic, which, again, I strongly suggest if you're a basketball fan, you must own this book. It's available at Amazon. I think it's like $25. I ordered mine. It was here in 2 days. Brees, you would love this book. You got to get a copy of this book, because as you read it, it'll take you back to all those games that we talked about that we grew up watching. And the gym in Marshall County, it is a mecca of high school basketball, and it's the real deal. It's a place that you've really got to see a basketball game, and that's one of the great high school venues.
Well, I mean, just the way Barry talked about Marshall County High School, and just like, it's the thing to do. It's the place to be on high school basketball nights. That's the kind of atmosphere that, I wish, would be something down here. Obviously when you have multiple schools in one county, it kind of spreads out the fan base. But
yeah,
tremendous interview last night with Barry, and still riding the wave, man. I am fired up.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to move forward and get some more great interviews lined up for you guys, and we've got some that are in the pipeline that we're gonna take care of here. Is hopefully we can get those done before school starts, and get them in the pipeline and get them on our podcast at Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. And you guys can, again, check all the video, check all that stuff on our YouTube channel, Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul. So everything from last night is on all those platforms, so please check it out. That gets us to sort of our tonight's hot takes, Paul. Just late in the afternoon, this broke about the SEC fall sports schedule. Now, the way that I read the information, I think you've got some more information. I thought it was like everything is done except we're not going to rule on football yet. But you're reading it a different way.
I mean, from what I can, tell, and obviously things change. We talked about this since we've started this podcast. Something could change in a moment's notice, but they're giving fall sports, what do we say, volleyball, cross country, and soccer, they're going to postpone it until August 31st is what I was privy to.
Okay. So that's just beginning like conditioning. So they're like postponing everything until August 31st.
According to
that source. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So again, it's like they don't want to – nobody wants to say anything about football. I mean, everybody is – it's like walking on eggshells when you're talking about SEC football.
Well, you got to understand, Adam, and I think you know this as well as anybody
do.
SEC, once that decision is made, everybody is going to start – it's like a NASCAR draft. They're all going to line up behind the SEC, and whatever they decide, that's how they're going to play it out. Whether the Big Ten, the ACC, and all these people have already made their decisions, they can always, say, you know what, we're going to do what the SEC does, because the SEC is the show, whether anybody likes it or not. What the SEC does for football is what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're absolutely steering the ship when it comes to that decision. And I think it's wise what they're doing, waiting, because they want to get as much information as they can, as much data as they can on, you know, the number of cases, is it accurate, you know, the testing protocols, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's wise that they're waiting. Now, again, you're getting down to a point where you only got about a week to 10 days before you're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Because as you know, you've got 2 kids in college that are about to ship off. I've got one that I'm about to send to Augusta at the end of the month. You know,
Yeah.
going to get started. I mean, kids are going to be on campus, and that includes, you know, student athletes too. So
Yeah.
I think it's, like you said, it's a, you know, it's the SEC's world, and everybody else is just a squirrel to get a nut.
All right, and Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, he says critical decisions are going to be made by the end of July. So, if you want to know what's going to happen tomorrow, Greg Sankey says, just wait a second. These critical decisions will be made at the late of July. Yeah,
they're not going to rush anything.
No.
Again, they're going to be smart. They're going to they understand that we've got not we. They have billions with billions of dollars
and billions.
Yes. Yeah. So they're going to be smart about it. They're going to get as much information as they can to make the choice. So that takes us to hot take numero dos. All right. And I don't know how many of you guys out there have ever aspired to have your own app on a smartphone. I got students that have built their own app. I've got students that have made their own game, their own little app of, like, you know, shooting stuff and doing whatever and all this stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, this can't be that difficult, right? Dude, I paid to have the app done, cost me $100, all right? And it's like, hey, click this box and, you know, our organization will do this. We'll start building your custom app. And then once we've done all this, we'll send you a folder and it'll have all the files necessary to file it with Apple Incorporated or whatever.
Okay.
I'm like, great. So I get this folder. Okay, it's a zip file. All right. I try to open it on my my Dell computer. Won't open. Got to have a Mac to open it. So I have to send it to myself, and then I have to open up my email on my kid's Mac. Well, I go to try and open it. It opens. Now I've got it open. Well, now the next step is, okay, you need this app. Okay, well, I go to download the app because you can't do it on your phone. You can only do it on a Mac. Go to get it. I'm sorry, we can't do that app because you don't have the latest operating system. Okay, so I've literally spent the last 2 hours trying to get the correct operating system updated on my Mac. Now, so in order to circumvent that, Abby has a newer Mac, which actually has the operating system. So I was like, hey, can I borrow yours? She's like, yeah, which is an inconvenience for her because I'm using her computer and she really needs it. So time got away from me. I was about to go to the next step, but I looked at my watch and it was getting close to 9. So I was like, forget it. We'll scrap it. We'll pick it up here tomorrow. But here's the thing. Now, this is a first-time person doing an app, okay? The document with the instructions to get this app up and running, 23 pages long, Paul. It's 23 pages. Who can do that?
Can you get your money back?
No, my money's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, here's the deal. I'm going to have to figure this out or I've wasted $100.
And you don't want to, hey, it's like the good old days before Waze was happening. You did not want to pull into a gas station and ask for directions. It's too much pride.
Yeah.
And there is no way you're gonna make something happen, whether it's right or wrong. And you don't want to hear your lovely wife, Leslie, over your shoulder saying, I told you not to do that. You don't know what you're doing.
I'm committed now. I'm committed. Something's got to come from this now. I mean, this has to be productive. Whatever I got to do, now I'm worried. Now I'm gonna be spending hours on the phone with Apple or or Spreaker or whoever it is that's supposed to be building my app or whatever. But anyway, it was frustrating. So I was glad it was time for us to do the show because I knew I could vent a little bit.
There you go.
Talk some more about sports. Speaking of which, something that you mentioned, and this is all you. I'm going to let you run with this because you seem like you're pretty passionate about this.
Well,
all the stories that are coming out of life in the NBA bubble. Now, one of the ones that I thought was interesting that may not have to do with Matisse Thybulle's interpretation, but it was the how can I put this, since this is a family-friendly show, the migration of certain other individuals into the bubble that were perhaps not family members.
I got you. I
I
understand.
That's
That's
happening.
happening. Sure.
Yes.
And,
So
and as you mentioned
what we call the super fans, as we can call them.
Groupies in the rock. Yeah.
The bubble groupies, they have arrived and they are getting into the bubble.
Yeah.
So
and here's the funny part: when you mention this, it just is all over Twitter. The quote unquote sheriff of the bubble, or the the narc of the bubble, or Adam Silver's right-hand man of the bubble would be. Do you know this answer?
I don't know who. I don't know who's number 2 guy is. Wait, it's not Isaiah Thomas, is it?
No. This is a player.
Oh,
that
really?
is secretly, apparently, giving out hints to Adam Silver of the people that are breaking the bubble.
So he's the narc.
Listen, this is unconfirmed, but all over Twitter, they're giving Chris Paul the title of the sheriff of the bubble. And
it's like the sheriff of Nottingham.
He is getting roasted. Now, I will tell you this. 2 players got broke the rules. One guy crossed over outside of the bubble. And obviously you're not supposed to do that. He got caught. Who knows by who. Now he's got to go in quarantine. I believe it's for 8 days, 8 more days or something. Oh, here's the best story of the busted bubble breaking people. The guy had enough, unknown player had enough of the Disney food, ordered food, went outside, got the delivery. As soon as he walked in, boom, busted. He had to go into quarantine.
Oh my gosh.
You must eat the food that there's provided. You cannot bring outside food into the bubble.
Wow.
Now the NBA bubble, Adam, is $1 billion. I mean, we've used that word multiple times tonight. Is a $1 billion undertaking, and just the funny part of how these guys are. They're the family guys that are trying to do one thing, and then they're the guys that have no family, and are trying to do another thing.
Yeah.
And you've got a mixture, a hodgepodge of different type of lifestyles going on in the bubble. So, as you can see, Matisse Thybulle, a rookie from Philly, has decided upon himself to how would we call this, document on his YouTube. Just daily happenings. Okay. I happened to watch the first episode where they boarded the flight, and then they got to the hotel. He got some gifts from the NBA. He went through the snacks. Yes, no, yes, no. Then here comes the first meal. Apparently, I guess they ring him. They say, hey, your food's been delivered. He opens the door. There's a box of food. He picks it up. It's got some grilled chicken, some pasta, some topping. Here's the problem. He sits down to eat it. No utensils. No utensils. Matisse Thybulle, obviously, first day there, who do I call? What do I do? He picks up the top to the the dressing or the sauce, and he goes, "Am I supposed to use this as my fork?" I'm sure Matisse has got to be 22, maybe.
Yeah.
And so somehow he edited the video. He found somebody. He called somebody. They delivered a package of in the plastic with the fork, the knife, the spork.
The spork. Oh yeah.
He got rung. He looked open the door and it was laying on the floor. So there's no person-to-person contact when the food is being delivered.
Oh, or anything else.
For sure.
Wow.
And so episode 2 just came out. I can't wait to see what else is happening inside the bubble. I'm just excited to know that is my entertainment, other than drop through sports with Adam and Paul. But this guy is making magic because we want to know what's really going on behind closed doors.
Yeah, because we're not going to hear the real story.
No, absolutely not. And this guy's getting the fact.
So
here's
Matisse Thybulle, he has struck a chord.
Absolutely. And here's another thing. Again, 76ers, Ben Simmons, somehow they go fishing. Okay, this is off a pier or off a dock or something. He catches a fish. Good for Ben Simmons. Holds the fish up like he's supposed to for the camera.
Yeah.
Throws the fish. The fish hits the dock, flops into the water. And what happens? Ben Simmons' video gets roasted on Twitter. He goes,
"Oh yeah,
another missed shot by Ben Simmons. Can't even get the fish in the water."
Oh no.
Hey, I've got to get you on this train. It may not be entertaining to you, but at least it gives you a glimpse of what's going on behind the bubble. Things, just the part of people trying to cross out to bring their own food in. That is pure gold. Matisse Thybulle, thank you so much. Because without you, we wouldn't have a clue what's really going down.
Yeah, and apparently, this is something I got to get hooked on, like immediately. I gotta take care of this. So you're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, that transitions us into something else that happened in Philadelphia, and it involves the other two sports teams in Philadelphia, the Eagles and the Phillies. Now, apparently the mayor made a blanket statement that says basically, hey, no matter what anybody else is doing, we're not having fans for the season. So I think we knew that was going to be the case with baseball.
Absolutely.
But I think everybody was kind of holding out hope that we'd have maybe at least 50% capacity in NFL games. But apparently in Philly, it's not going to happen. So that ensures that a couple things won't happen.
This is probably the easiest decision for the city officials of Philadelphia, knowing that they do not have to babysit drunk fans during the Eagles games and the Phillies games. You know what, Adam? Here's what I did. Let's see if I can find it. I Googled which stadiums had jails.
Philly has one. Veteran Stadium has one. Now I don't know.
Yeah. Now it's Lincoln Financial
I don't know
Field.
about Lincoln Financial. Okay.
They have one. Here are the other. Here are the other NFL stadiums listed that have holding areas for those unruly fans. Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah.
Gillette Stadium, New England Patriots.
That makes sense.
Here's obviously one. Heinz Field, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah.
And finally, Lambeau Field, Green Bay Packers. So all those stadiums listed, you could see would probably be a very good case to have something in place for those fans.
Well, I'm actually surprised that there's not one at the Mercedes Superdome down in New Orleans.
Well,
they may just kick them out into the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, here's your beads. Go back out there and have fun.
Wow. So there are only 5. That actually surprises me a little bit. I would have thought that like the Meadowlands or like MetLife Stadium would probably have one, but
well, and here's the funny part. We talked about no fans. We just found out the Dodgers, right, are now going to. They've joined the bandwagon of baseball teams that are going to sell the cutouts of yourself to display in the empty seats this year.
Yeah, now you ran through some price points.
Listen, the Dodgers are going to charge between $149 and $299, obviously depending on the location of the seats. Other teams that are obviously involved in this: the San Francisco Giants, the Oakland A's, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay, the Giants are offering them free to season ticket holders, and anybody else that wants to get involved are $99. And the Oakland A's, $49 to $149.
Well,
but
the
A's, but the A's do have a little twist, a little fun thing that they do. If a foul ball hits your cutout or a home run hits your cutout, you get to keep the ball.
And they will mail it to you.
They'll mail it to you. That's right.
There's no other. We talked about this in an earlier show. No other organization has said that they would be doing that.
Yeah,
which
makes no sense. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it's awesome.
It's brilliant. I think that's something that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, then you got who's the unlucky clubhouse guy that has to run every foul ball and make a note of whose name it. You know, what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Is this one? That one looks like it was bent. Okay, hold on. Which one did it hit? This one and then that one. Okay, well, we'll just have. Yeah. I mean, at some point, whoever's doing that is just going to have to make an executive decision and decide who it's going to.
You're right. You're exactly right.
So you're going to have a group of guys. That could be a whole new job market. Chasing foul balls and marking the cardboard cutout that they ricochet off of, so we their ball. That's great. I love it.
Speaking of great, Adam. I mean, I don't know if you're fired up about this next hot take or not. I mean, what did they say? Are they even mentioning this down in Atlanta?
Nothing. There was no mention of it until I saw it on one of my friends posted it. I posted the link on Facebook. That was the first time I had ever seen anything about it. And what's so funny is Braves fans hated him when he played for the Dodgers when they would come down. They hated him. And now it's like, we got Puig. You know, it's like, he's the magic ingredient. Now, I will say this. You know, he's about a career 280 hitter. In a full season, he's probably going to hit you 20, 25 home runs if he plays, 140 to 150 games. Great arm. He's still young. He's only 29. He plays, with kind of reckless abandon, which was kind of his, the knock on him in LA was, he had flashes where he was incredible. And then times when he just seemed to check out. And I don't know if that was just him being young. He came up through the Dodgers organization and actually played in Chattanooga for the Lookouts for a season. But, world of talent. It's a one-year deal, which means it's just this season. So maybe out of the 60 games, maybe he plays 45. Markakis opted out. That's what prompted them to go get him, I think. But honestly, if you got him, Ozuna, and Acuna in the outfield, I mean, all those guys got rocket arms. I mean, you're not running on them. I think it's a great pickup for the Braves. And I guarantee you got him for a song because nobody wanted him. I mean, the Indians let him go. They weren't going to and he had 0 offers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got him for league minimum.
So you're saying that he would be the Cam Newton of baseball.
Oh, he's the Cam Newton of baseball. Absolutely. Gotcha. Absolutely. He is. Again, I don't know the details of his contract, and he hasn't passed the physical yet, so this deal is not done. So who knows? He could have gained 25, 30 pounds. We don't know. But if he passes the physical, this could be big for the Braves to have a big right-handed bat coming off the bench. Hopefully they get Freddie Freeman back from coronavirus. And you got Acuna, you got Albies. You got Ozuna, Puig, Freddie, and who's playing third base for them? Echeverria, I think, is playing. Yeah, is playing third. And so, I mean, they're going to have a really, really stout lineup. You know, they're pitching. You know, if Cole Hamels can get healthy and stay healthy for the short time, I think they're going to, probably, I think the Braves could win 35 of the 60, maybe go 37-23 or 36-24 or something like that. And I think they're probably favored to make the playoffs. Definitely now with the addition of Puig. So yeah, I would call him for sure the Cam Newton of baseball right now, as far as like value for the money.
Right.
I'm guessing it's probably, you're probably getting him for $400,000. I'd be surprised if he was getting paid more than $500,000 for the 60 games. I really would be.
Right.
But again,
right.
I don't know. What do you think, man? I mean, I know you're not really a baseball guy, but
were
you surprised?
I think he's going to start, right? Because, I mean,
he will start. Oh, he will
gone,
absolutely
right?
start. No, Acuna will be in center.
Okay. What about Incarnate or
Inciarte? I don't know. He may be like a late inning defensive replacement. I don't know.
I got you.
I don't know. He's fast. He was an all-star at one point as well. Got hurt last year, hamstring issue.
I think the number one thing that Yasiel Puig is going to go to the front office and ask for, listen, guys, is it okay if I cut my sleeves off my jersey? Can I do that? Because the gun show is always in effect.
He is built like a brick house, dude. I'm telling you, this guy's thick.
Here's another funny thing that I just thought of. The person that is probably shaking in their boots right now is the person that bats after Yasiel Puig, because he does so much antics, whether it's a home run, a strikeout. The next guy up is the guy that's going to get thrown at, right?
Oh, yeah. The first bat flip, Yasiel Puig, the next guy's getting an ear hole fastball for sure.
Yeah, and he crosses home plate. Dansby Swanson's like, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm going to get plugged.
I'm going to take one right in the numbers.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed your little bat flip in front of nobody except a bunch of cutouts.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man, but he is going to be a Brave at least for the end of 2020, and we hope we get all 60 of those games in. But that gets us to our human interest, Paul. And this was a good one that you came up with. You said you guys came up with this tonight at dinner, or was this last night?
No, it was tonight. Okay. I've got a medical procedure that I'm going to be doing in a couple of days, and routine. And, I joke about, hey, this could be my last meal, because my wife, when she cooks, if it's something I don't want, like tonight, it ended up being really good, by the way. But I joked with her. I was like, listen, this could be my last meal. What is going on? Because I'm on a liquid diet tomorrow. And so we kind of went around and asked everybody, what would your last meal be? So I'll throw it to you, Adam. I would assume you've had time to reflect. If you don't have time, I can go ahead and let you know.
I'll let you go ahead, because I'm still kind of throwing some things around here, because this is a big decision.
It is a big decision. I could have gone both ways. Obviously, I could have gone the daily meal of something that's a cost-cutting meal, and I would say something like Publix fried chicken. I'm a big fan of Publix fried chicken.
Oh, out of the deli.
Yes. Give me a chicken breast, and then I could go to the other end of the spectrum and say prime rib. Okay. And in between whatever, but the one probably constant in this whole thing is a chocolate milkshake from Baskin Robbins.
That's on both of them, right?
Yeah. Whether it's the prime rib or the fried chicken. And I would also Arby's curly fries.
Really?
I love.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it's always been a something that I never get, but when I do go there, I'm like, man, these are awesome. Why am I not taking more advantage of Arby's? Obviously,
Yes.
there's no one ever in line, so I mean,
No.
I
No,
could pull
but
in there
it is very, very underrated place.
To me, it is. Yes.
Extremely underrated.
Yes.
All right. So I kind of along the same lines. If you're going something simple, but so satisfying, if it's my last meal, well, you had them. You had these, so you can attest to how good they are. I got to go my wife's chicken nachos.
Very good. Very good.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you've had them. They're out of this world.
Yeah.
And again, you make them to suit your taste. You want onions? You don't want onions. Sour cream, cheese, black beans. If you want black beans, you can put anything you want on them. She cooks chicken in a crock pot. It's unbelievable. Takes it like 6 hours to cook. It's just, it's amazing. So if it was something, that was a home cooked meal, then that's what I would go for. As far as if it was something like beyond that, I think for me, it would be a Outback special.
Chili cheese fries.
And the Outback special, which is the 8-ounce filet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it would be cheese fries from Outback. And then I don't know if you've ever had this or not, but strawberry lemonade from Chili's.
Wow.
Don't know
Okay.
if you've ever had that or not, but it is good stuff. That would be what I would have to drink. So I'd have an Outback special, which I think is a 10-ounce filet. I'd have the cheese fries to go with that, and then I'd have a bring in a strawberry lemonade from Chili's if we were doing something that was outside of the norm or the like outside, like you said, the daily.
Sure.
So we would have daily because chicken nachos is about a once a week, chicken nacho night.
I love it. I love it. It was great.
Yeah, man. So again, we love to end on a human interest side.
Yeah.
That brings some more fans in because everyone likes sports. That's what we're all about. But it gives you a little insight into myself and Paul here that maybe you didn't know about. But we encourage everybody to follow us on Twitter. We're getting to we've gotten some more followers here this last week, Paul. So we're getting there. We're climbing the ladder. And follow us at D Through Sports and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul, as well as listen on all of our platforms, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeart, and Spotify. And if you would like some Drive Through Sports merchandise, you can get a T-shirt. They're $10. Just Venmo us at HNS Broadcasting, as you can see over here to the left-hand side. And we will get those, include a size and an address, and we'll get it shipped out right to you. So, Brees, any last words?
Hey, I wanted to say this last night, but happy belated birthday to your mom.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. She's a great lady, and hopefully Dandy Don did a little something special for her last night. But you know him, man. Who knows?
It's all on the down low. I'll never know about it.
It's good. Well,
I'll never know, but we appreciate that. I know she appreciates that too. For Paul Brees in Brentwood, Tennessee, Adam Freeman here in Atlanta, Georgia, you've been listening to Drive Through Sports with Adam and Paul.